Many Western people say that religion and science are opposites of each other. Is this true? Also, is it possible to scientifically prove God's existence? Please answer in English. Okay. As you order. When the Western people say the religion and science do not get along, they are opposites, in a way it is true. Why? I can say for various reasons. Like, Bible said earth is, the sun is static at one place, the earth is static at one place, and the sun is going around it. And when the first time a scientist said, no, it is not like that, the earth is going around the sun, and earth is a square, believed the Bible, said the Bible, and they found out that it is not. They said the earth is square. Scientists found out it is not. They had to say it is against it. The science and religion goes against it. Then this whole theory, when was said by Galileo at one time, he was about to be crucified, he was about to be killed. He said, say it in the court. Say sorry, apologize. You are saying the things which are against the Bible. You are wrong, Bible is not. So he came into the court and he was an intelligent man. He said, why kill yourself? He said, okay, I apologize. I take my statement back. Although the sun doesn't listen to me and the earth doesn't listen to me. But he was saved by saying this. So when the Western approach, the scientific approach, if should I say, was applied on the biblical things, it didn't get along. Like they're saying that Jesus was born from Mary without any man touching her. She was virgin. She remained virgin. And yet a son happened. Biologically, it is not possible. So, the religion went against the science. Then they said Jesus died, and 3 days after he rose from dead. Science says it's not possible. Religion says it is possible. So henceforth there were so many things on basis of which this great polarization happened. In between religion and science, there was no bridge. But only if the Westerners had got to know about the Veda, the Indian mysticism, the Indian knowledge. I represent that. The yogic Vedantic philosophy of India, I represent that. And I can vouch for it and I can say it with all the authority which I have, that science is definitely not against the religion. Now the question is, what do you understand by the word religion? I believe Christianity is a faith, like Islam is a faith. Right? But Hinduism is not a faith. It is a lifestyle. It is a research. It is an exploration. And the Hindu Rishi had been, the yogis have been exploring not only the body, but the mind, also the consciousness, and what the abstract truth is. Today, the astrophysicists are all agreeing to the same things which Gita has been saying. Like, Shankaracharya said, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva na paraha. Only Brahma means the absolute truth is the existent. Truth is the only valid thing. And whatever you see, the world is mithya. Mithya means illusion. Today, the nuclear scientists, the astrophysicists are saying the same thing, that what you are seeing outside is the creation of your own mind. So when an astrophysicist or those who understand the quantum theory, they come to the same point, and the most interesting part is that they say there is something underlying which maybe the East is calling it the consciousness. Now you cannot dissect consciousness under a microscope. You can dissect a flower, see the flower, and through the most powerful microscope, maybe it is possible you can see and go into the atomic levels of the flower. But what is making it move? If you read Einstein's last dying statements, or the statements which he gave 3 months, 6 months prior to his death, his talk is as if a talk being given by an Upanishad seer. An Upanishad seer, Rishi, is saying the same thing. The only problem is that for long time, almost, we can say, almost 2000 years, the Western world had been considering Islam and Christianity the only two religions, and they had no understanding of what was going on in India. Right? And these poor chap, one of the men who wanted to explore and wanted to discover India, ended up somewhere else and thought that is India. He never reached there. Today, the modern scientist is coming much closer to what the Upanishadic Gyan, the knowledge, is. There had been very troublesome things at one time were difficult for me to explain. For example, how could Kunti give birth to 6 sons without any man engaging in sexual intercourse with her? And today, lambs and dogs are being cloned, and they are taking just the skin sample of the lamb, or the first one was named Dolly and the second one was named Molly, and then came a dog again from England, and that cloning happened in South Korea, and 60,000 pounds were spent to clone a dog. What a dog life. So there is an innumerable things which I can say from the yogic point of view. Or should I say, for example, the Samkhya philosophy, which is the base of Jaina religion, which is a very big, important one part of Hindu religion, Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya means digit. Mathematical digit. Each and everything which you see is understood to its minutest level possible. Atom is a very new word. We have scriptures which are more than 10,000 years old, and we have the word Anu and Parmanu in that. because that is part of the Sankhya philosophy. Anu is atom. So it is talking about that. But anybody who has not been able to access all this, they can say it. But once they go through that, for example, today what I am seeing is that there is a huge interest of Western people into Buddhism. Huge temples are opening up. Although unfortunately there is a small percentage of people who are going into the doctrine, who are going into the philosophy of Buddhism, which is again a Sankhya philosophy. With little bit change of words here and there, it is the same Sankhya philosophy. And the majority of them are adapting the same biblical thing. First they were bowing in front of Jesus, now they are bowing in front of Buddha. That's the only difference. First they were saying Hail Mary, and now they are saying the sutras of the Buddhist religion. But when the philosophy part comes, when the scientific aptitude part comes, even the science becomes so dwarf in front of what our seers had been contemplating on. Let me say it, one example. For example, what is body made of? Rishi says Sapta Dhatu. 7 constituents are there. Ras, Rakta, Majja, Med, Asthi. The first Ras, Rakta, it is not talking about sperm, it is not talking about egg, ova, it is going more deeper into that. How was that sperm formed? So we have to go backward from how did this sperm got formed. They say the food was eaten by somebody, man, woman. Rasa was formed. Rasa is essence. Essence of the food. Rasa. From rasa, the rakta was formed. Rakta is blood. From blood, the plasma was formed. From plasma, the asthi was formed. Fat was formed. And all types of fats were formed. The bone marrow was formed. Majja. It is bone marrow. And then comes the spermatozoa in male body, and then comes the ovum in a female body. That's the process. But there is a second part to it. And that is, which is still beyond the reach of Western thinkers. But it is coming closer by the nuclear astrophysicists. They are coming closer to it. And that is, it is not the food or the which gave shape to the rasa, rakta, mams, med, majja, asti, shukra, but it is the consciousness. First it was consciousness. And then this consciousness propelled all this procedure. Best is yet to, the mediocre scientist still doesn't understand this. But those who are going into the nuclear science are coming closer to it. A very interesting thing which I would like to share. This a huge under the ground tunnel was found in Europe somewhere. You know that? And they did the experiment to understand how this everything has taken form. And that explosion was done. The office building who was conducting this all experiment, they have a huge statue of Nataraja outside their building. Why? Because at a certain frequency it was found that at a certain frequency of the molecules, the shape which comes out is of a Nataraj. What is body? You see, atomic dance. Some atoms are glued together and they are dancing. Nothing more than that. In Vedantic language we say the body has Name Sapta Dhatu. This body has been formed from the 7 constituent, the 7 Dhatu. But I am not the body, but the body is different from me. Now the thing is, like you can see a body under the microscope, but you cannot see mind under the microscope, can you? Similarly, you can dissect a heart, open it up. Would you find any love or hatred in that? Would you? No. So there is so much which is subtle and which is beyond the periphery of human eye. But then there is so much which requires observation, experimentation, and then you can come to a conclusion. But there is so much which is still beyond that. So I would say Vedanta is beyond the science. But when it talks scientifically. And it gives the scientific basis. It will give you data. It will give you charts. It will give you components. It will give you procedures to observe. And it will say, okay, come to the conclusion and then we can talk. In Vedanta, there is no room for faith. No. It won't. I won't say use faith. I might say you have to be respectful to me and listen to what I'm saying, but you have to experiment on your own and then you can come to the conclusion. Like you did the morning session, you were using the breath, you were using the mind, and you were gaining some experiences which are very much pliable, doable, knowable by anybody. And even if you don't have any respect or love for me, but yet if you use my technique, which I am teaching, you will still come to that same conclusion. Right? Islam, Christianity, and majority of the Hinduism too is based on faith. But there is a big part, I always call it is a majority in minority. The Vedanta. Minority, small, but has a majority. Where there is no room for faith, but there is every room for questioning, dialogue, debate, discussion, experience. So the sampradaya or the faith-based religion, like Quran Sharif is talking about hell and heaven, Bahisht and Jannat, or Jahannam. Jahannam would be hell, in Bahisht, or Jannat is heaven. So you do good karma, you will go there. Christianity says the same, Jews say the same. Right? Part of the Hindus also say the same. Do good karma, you will end up in a swarg. Do bad karma, you will end up in a hell. Buddhism also says this. Jaina also says this. But there is another third option which the Upanishadic, or should I say Hindu, and a big part even in the Guru Granth Sahib, the Sikh religion book, is also talking about. And that is neither Jannat nor Jahannam, but Mukti. Neither hell nor heaven, but liberation. And that liberation is not from something, but it is liberation of something. Edison was once asked by a school student, why is a negative negative and positive a positive? Edison said, well, that is how it is. The child asked, then why is there a neutral? And after a point, even Edison had to say, you have to have a faith now, child, what I am saying. The faith-based religion would say, do good now, you will get benefit later on. Do sin, if you do sin now, you will be punished in the hell. And God is somewhere else, a remote place, where you cannot go. कहाँ है भगवान? पता ही नहीं कहाँ है, वहीं कहीं होगा ऊपर. One thing is similar. Christian, Islamic, Hindu, Sikh, whenever they have to have a conversation with God, they all look up. Bhagwan. Nobody is looking down or left or right. They all, hey Bhagavan. Now somebody would say, Ya Allah. Somebody would say, Sache Patsha. Somebody would say, Hey Ram. Somebody would say, Oh Shiva. But they all look up. That is a common factor in everybody. Every faith. But the Eastern Upanishadic Gyan says, God is not hither or thither. God is right there where you are. So there is no need to go outside of you, you just need to go inside of you. And the scripture help us to calm our mind, to move inward and to find the truth. Now, in Buddhism the word is Shunya. In Vedanta the word is Brahma. In English I would say absolute reality. So you can pick a word of your choice. If you don't like Brahma, then pick the scientific word, the absolute reality. Because when this word comes, it is fine for many people. Like Ram can be objectionable to a Muslim, and Allah can be objectionable to a Hindu. But absolute reality, everybody is happy to take it. It's like pound, everybody is happy to take it.